everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm in a completely different location. As you can see, I've made a bed, which can only mean one thing. We're doing a 24-hour readathon. Firstly, I just want to say sorry for the lighting. As you can see, it's not great, but just bear with for this video, please. I have the house to myself this weekend, so I thought this would be the perfect time to do a 24-hour readathon. Let's get the nitty-gritty out the way. Rules. Firstly, I'm going to try and read as much as I can for as long as I can. I am not going to stop the timer for making food or anything like that. I'm only going to do it if I actually have to go sleep. I'm going to try and do it in completion, but I don't think I will be able to. I mean, the idea is there. If I go to bed at 3 in the morning, that's okay. I'm by myself. Second, I don't know if it's a rule or a disclaimer, but secondly, this time we're doing it a bit differently because usually I read around 2 to 3 books, averaging around 1,000 to 1,200 pages. This time we're trying something different and we're going to be immersive reading. So immersive reading, if you don't know, is actually listening to the audiobook while following along on the pages, which ultimately helps you read faster, I guess. If you don't know, I'm a very slow reader. I probably read on average about 30 to 40 pages in an hour, which is really, really slow. So hence why I usually read 2 to 3 books during a readathon. This time around, we're going to be immersive reading all the way through. I have 4 books on my TBR, which these are not all books that I love, but they are books of what kind of I want to try, and then there is some series I'm trying to complete. This is just kind of something I wanted to do. So I just wanted to read these books and get them kind of out the way, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity, especially with having the audiobooks along with the text. Let's go through the TBR quickly. Firstly, we have The Reckoning, which is the 3rd book in the Zodiac Academy series. The second book we have here is a book that I recently read in, I think, the video before this, and I really didn't like the first book, but I do have the sequel, so I thought let's just get it out the way. I have the audiobook, we can immersive read because I have the book. It was on sale, so I bought it without even having read the first book. So the second book on our list is Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. I really didn't like the first book. I think I gave it a 2 or 2.5. I want to say I gave it a 2-star. Insufferable. It was the longest, boringest book ever. I'm just going to read the second book. It is quite thick. I think it's over 400 pages. Yeah, it's like 470 pages. Then, naturally, being home alone by myself, we had to throw in a thriller. I don't know if this is a thriller or a horror, but it is How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix. I've never read anything from him. I've always been curious. Like, there's a few people on YouTube that I watch that only do like thriller and horror reviews, and I've seen a lot of people love Grady Hendrix, but I've also seen a lot of people not really like him. Also, I don't really know what that book is about, but I mean, the title alone, it says it all. Then the last book I have here, which I'm hoping we will get to, is Legendary by Stephanie Garber, and this is the second book in the Caraval series, and I didn't love Caraval. I really didn't. I thought I would. I think I gave it a 3.5 or 3.75. It was good, but it was so juvenile. Like, it wasn't my favorite. I thought Once Upon a Broken Heart was much more whimsical, much more magical, and I just like the vibes better. But I'm trying to get through the series because I do have all 3 books, and it's such an easy read. The font is absolutely massive and the chapters are short. It's really quick and easy, and again, I have the audiobook, so what better time? Yeah. So these are the 4 books we have planned. So I am going to go get a glass of wine, and then I'm going to queue up our audiobook, and then we'll go ahead and start the timer. I hope you are as excited as I am. These intros are always so long because it comes with so many rules and disclaimers, doesn't it? But anyway, I also don't have any makeup on. My skin's doing really well at the moment, so I didn't want to put anything on it. So excuse that. I normally never come on doing an intro with no makeup on because I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. But anyway. Hello everyone, I'm so sorry again for the lighting, but just bear with me for this video. I mean, probably my previous video is probably pretty bad as well, but let me pause my timer just so we can chat. I just breathed my hair in. My alarm's going off on my watch. We are now 2 hours in, which means we have 22 hours left. that is the timer, and I just got to page 110. So it is going a lot faster than when I just read by myself rather than immersive reading, because I get distracted really, really easily. I think even though I am listening to the audiobook right now, I am getting distracted, but I am so bored. This book is so boring. I just want to get it done. I don't want to DNF it. Like, I kind of want to know what happens at the end. I do, but the road to there is so freaking boring. If you haven't watched my previous video, the first book of this is called Our Violent Delights. It's supposed to be a Romeo and Juliet retelling in the 1960s in Shanghai. And there is obviously two gangs who are competing in Shanghai, but the one side of the gang, which is Roma and Montagov, and they are part of the Russian gangs. And then we have the Scarlets, who is part of Juliet Kai's gang. So Juliet and Roma, they are meant to be Romeo and Juliet. They have been plagued by this madness that is attacking their lands, and there's communists who are trying to overthrow these gangsters, because the gangsters obviously control all of Shanghai, but it's kind of like split down the middle, and then the White Flowers, which are Roma Montagov's side, has one side of things, and then the other side of the Scarlets. So that all sounds very interesting, but the road leading there is absolutely painstakingly boring. Like, Chloe Gong is adding in points of view that we don't really need. Like, it's like she's implanting the information instead of just like showing us what is happening. She's like very forcefully laying all these little stones so that we can follow the trail, but it doesn't need to be like that. There's a lot of dialogue that is unnecessary. There's not actually a lot of like interaction between the main characters. It's more like their internal monologue and what they think and what they feel, and it's just mind-numbing. But I will finish it. I will finish it. I'm listening to it on 1.85 speed. It says that I've actually read 3 hours and 32 minutes, because obviously I have it at a faster speed. So I'm halfway. I'm listening to it on YouTube Premium, is that what it's called? They have like some audiobooks. A lot of it is just AI generated, but it's fine because it still helps me read a bit faster. But yeah, it is now time for me to make myself some dinner. Like I said, I don't know if I said this in the beginning, or my husband called me for like 30 minutes, so that's why it's a little bit later. It's now almost 7 p.m. So my husband called me and we just had a little chat. So I am behind by like 30 minutes, but it's fine. I need to make myself dinner. I got a little ready-made pizza so that I can just, pop it in the oven and be done with it. So I'm going to make that now. And then while I do that, I'll still listen to the audiobook, obviously without following the book, but I'm still going to be doing that. So we're still basically reading. Hi guys, so I thought I'd do another quick check-in because another 2 hours have elapsed. So we have 20 hours, I think it's still 20, or is it 19? Have a look. Yeah, it says 19 hours and 59 minutes. I've made it to 50% of this book. I'm on page 249, chapter 25. I'm actually bored to tears. Like, I'm surprised I haven't fallen asleep. I'm this close to passing out. This book is so boring, but I'm determined to finish it. I do not want to DNF it. Like, this is the first duology I ever bought. And I think I saw a couple of people talk about it on YouTube and said that they really liked it, but they were wrong. Or maybe I was wrong for just buying it. And I was just telling my husband now, like, I don't know why I bought both books. And one of them was on sale and the other one I bought full price. So I don't know what I was thinking. I'm absolutely bored. The main female character in this book is so insufferable. She's actually ridiculous. Like, I can't understand why she makes any decisions the way she does. And then our main male character as well. He's supposed to know her so well and they used to be so in love, but they can't read each other at all. at all. Like, she's faking this something at the moment and he's falling for everything that she's saying, and like just their whole ploy is actually laughable and extremely immature. I don't even think this should be classed as like YA. It should actually be like in middle grade. I'm being rude. I'm being so rude, but I'm just like, I'm trying not to fall asleep. We're 4 hours in now. It feels like I've already done 10 hours just because it's absolutely insufferable. Well, I don't know if I said this. I can't tell you too much about the book because obviously it's a sequel. The way book number 1 ended, it left an opening for another storyline. So it wasn't a cliffhanger. It just opened it for another storyline. So now we're following this storyline as well. Again, these people are just on a wild goose chase, unnecessarily so. Like, why didn't they just say this was a mystery? Like, it would have sold so much better being a mystery. And I've read some 5-star reviews on it and I just don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, I'm gonna keep reading, and I think I'll only check in with you guys when we're done because I'm just gonna be saying the same thing. I know I am. I'm even stuttering because the words are just escaping me because I'm so freaking bored. I've already kind of like put on my pajama pants and just a hoodie. I still have like my other top on underneath, but I've just kind of got into comfies now. I had my pizza. My camera died as soon as I wanted to like pull it out the oven or put it in the oven, one of the two. So it's been charging for a bit, but I need to let the dog in and then, yeah, we'll see. I don't even know if I should have more wine because it's just going to put me to sleep, but it's the weekend and I'm trying to have a good time, so... Hi guys, so I've barely moved. Honestly, I've just been sat here. I've only got up to go to the toilet and I got one additional glass of wine, but I'm done now because it's just past midnight. Well, not just past, it's like 12:30 midnight right now, or 12:30. And I just finished Our Violent Delights. It took me much longer than I thought it would. It took me about 8 hours and 20 minutes. So we currently have 16 hours and 39 minutes left on the clock. I'm really, really glad I finished this. I think it would have probably taken me about 3 or 4 days to read this if I hadn't been immersive reading or doing this challenge, because this was very boring. Like, I feel like, I don't mean to be rude and I've just been slating this book so much, but I feel like the author has put in so much unnecessary details, and those little subplots that she added in still didn't amount to anything. So it was really unimportant to the story and was basically just a waste of pages. I feel like the story or the whole novel could have done with a lot of editing and just like a lot more proofreading. Like, there's so many bits that could have been taken out of this book. It could have easily been a 300-page book and had much more of an impact because it was just boring. So we're gonna settle, I already know, on a 2-star for this. So the first and second book, unfortunately, are 2 stars. Not the worst books I ever read. Like, it wasn't like a D and F, but it was so boring and such a slog to get through. Next, I think we're going to read, like I said, I can't reach. We're gonna read a little thriller. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm just sitting here. I will go to my bed a little bit later, probably in a couple of hours. I'll go settle in my bedroom, but for now I think this is a good little spot because like there's like a nice big TV so I can listen to my ambience, but I'm gonna have earphones on anyway, so I can just hear outside. So yeah, I'm just chilling here, but I think at around, maybe not even 2 hours, I think around 2 a.m. I will go to, it is, I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I don't think so because it's quite light. Let's see if I can show you this. No, you can't see it, but it's 0041 right now. Let's see if this will focus. Yeah, so that is the time right now. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm tired now because that book was so boring. It really took it out of me. My voice has gone groggy as well. But yeah, let's get going on this one. The font is tiny in this. I don't know anything about it. Nothing. I didn't read the back. So it's my first Grady Hendrix as well. I'm very excited to see. I do like some like serious thrillers and like horror books, but I don't like gore or like body gore or body horror. So let's see what this is about. Sounds scary. scary. Probably not the best book to be reading when I'm home alone, but you know, it gotta do it. It makes it interesting, doesn't it? But anyway, I'm gonna go and I need the toilet and then we'll quickly start this book. Okay, so I don't know how I'm gonna get the lighting correct over here, but I decided just to come to bed because I thought about starting this book and I looked down a hallway or passage and I just got an eerie little feeling like you do sometimes when you're home alone. And I was like, maybe it's better if I just lock up the house and start reading this thriller in my room where I feel safe. So I've locked down the house, doggy's in her bed, I've locked all the doors and done all the things. So I am just getting into bed now. Oh my gosh, I look terrible. I'm so tired actually. Not like sleep tired, but I'm a bit tired. So yeah, I'm gonna start my book now. I just got into bed. I did pause the timer while I did everything else. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep reading and then I'll let you guys know when I get a little bit tired. But yeah, that's the dealio. I don't know why I just got creeped out. I just creep myself out sometimes. Just like, does anybody else get that where you see like a dark figure out of like the corner of your eye and then when you look over, obviously there's nothing. So that always creeps me out a little bit. So I thought, let me just do all the things and get into my bed and then yeah, now let's start this thriller or whatever it is. It has the word haunted in it, so yeah, that's foreshadowing. This looks really spooky, but it's just my book light over here. And I thought maybe it could add a little bit more light to the situation. I don't know. But okay, little update on how to sell a haunted house. So it is about two siblings whose parents just passed away and they are fighting over the inheritance because her father's will said one thing, the mother's will said another thing. But because they had died at the same time, they had to like go into the nitty-gritty of when each person passed and who passed first. It's not gone in favor of our female character Louise, and she's now trying to spite her brother by delaying him getting the inheritance. They're fighting about all of this. She's gone back home to Charleston. She has a child back home and she at least thought like they would be able to get some money out of it so that she could like put it towards her kids' future, but her brother won't budge and he's not sharing any of it with her. So her mom's left her art collection, but her art collection is like my art collection, which is like crochet bits, little paint by numbers and stuff like that. It's a stretch, but her mom's also into like making puppets, so she makes puppets out of junk and stuff. Louise is trying to like delay this whole process because she doesn't want her brother to sell the house and take the money because he's also like really stupid with money and really irresponsible. But anyway, so she's gone back to the house a couple times now and she's noticed some strange things. She's not sure if it's in her head, if it's her brother who's messing with her or whatever, but her mom has this one puppet that she absolutely loved and was like her best friend, and it's always been like the scariest puppet for her. And she comes into the house and this puppet's not where it's supposed to be, so she kind of puts it in the bin, comes back the next day and she cannot find it. So we're kind of trying to figure out what's going on in the house, but the whole storyline is just a little bit unhinged. Like it's eerie and like a little bit creepy, but at the same time it's very unhinged and very improbable. But I guess like paranormal could be explained like that anyway. Like a lot of people think that it's far-fetched and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of, I don't know what just happened to my camera, but it just went really dark. But yeah, it's actually 3 a.m. right now. I don't know if you can see that, but it's 3 a.m. and I think I'm ready for bed. We still have about 14 hours on the clock. Yeah, 14 and a half hours. I need to pause my timer. So that is our timer. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I really need to go to bed. I'm so tired right now. Like I'm starting to get like really annoyed with the book because I feel like the chapters are just a bit long, but they're actually not that long, maybe like 10 pages. But that's how I can tell I am. Why does the light keep changing? But that's how I can tell that I am tired, and you can hear the rasp in my voice. So yeah, we are not doing a full 24 hours. I just can't. I need my sleep. I'm diabetic as well, as I've said many times before, so I do need recovery sleep. I think I'll try and set my alarm for like maybe 7 tomorrow morning, so I can get at least like 4 hours of sleep. I'll see, like 7 or 8 around there we'll try and aim for, and then pick this up again. It's just going to take us late into tomorrow, and I had some plans to film some different content tomorrow, but we'll see. That is everything for now. I can't even think coherently because I'm so tired, so I will go off to bed, and then we'll pick this up in the morning again. Good morning, everyone. So I slept in this morning. I just couldn't wake up. Like, my brother came to knock on my door before 8 o'clock this morning, and my alarm was set for 8, and then I don't know what happened, but I fell asleep and I woke up at 10. Today's gonna be another long day of reading, but I've already got started. It is now almost 12. It's 5 to 12. And I've been obviously reading How to Sell a Haunted House. This book is so unhinged, but I'm low-key loving it. Like, there's I don't know if it says it on the back. Let me check. It involves puppets and dolls, and I remember watching a movie when I was much younger, and it was about this school teacher who was obsessed with dolls and had like this room full of dolls, and the dolls came alive and they were murderous. So that's kind of giving me this vibe, so I'm really liking it. It's feeling like a 4-star depending on the twist at the end. There's also a lot of like family trauma, and our main female character, I think she might have some mental disorder, but her brother's playing into it, so it's very confusing to like understand where this is coming from. Is the house haunted? Is it their imagination? Is it a demon? We don't know what's going on, but I'm actually really liking it, and I'm glad I'm reading this in the morning because I would have been freaked out last night for sure, but I'm still having a good time. So I'm gonna get up now, get ready for the day, and then we'll relocate back into the living room. I think I might have a Red Bull. I'm really tired. Yesterday I only read for 10 hours and it feels like I read for 24 hours already. My brain gets so scrambled, but I'm still having fun. So yeah, so this is the time that we have left. So yeah, it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a long while. It's gonna be a long night. Okay, same position, but I finished it. And we have 10 hours left on the clock. So that means we've been reading for 14 hours. That's crazy. And I finished 2 books. One was almost 500 pages. This one was almost 400. So we already made it to 900 pages. I liked it. I really did. The creepiness of like dolls and puppets and stuff, which I'm sure most people feel really creeped out about anyway. So that all just made it so much more like creepy and stuff. And then we find out I don't know why my eyes were closed that whole time. I'm trying to think, but yeah, the whole family trauma and the reason behind like the hauntings and the possessions and stuff, it was really quite wholesome, and it could ring true to a lot of families and family trauma and stuff. So I really like this, and I think I'm going to give it a 4-star. This is my first Grady Hendrix, and I definitely want to try more of their books. I don't know if they identify as male or female, but definitely want to try more Grady Hendrix books. That was fun. I really did like it. It went by really quickly as well, although not really. 8, I can't do the math. Let me calculate this. First book took us 8 hours and 20 minutes, right? So let's just say 8 hours for now. Okay, so it took us about 6 hours to read that. That's not too bad at all, especially because I'm a slow reader, but it's definitely going much faster since I've been immersive reading. That's all I have to say about this. I'm really tired. I'm really tired. The Red Bull went down pretty easily. I do not have another one. I wish I did, but it just poured myself another glass of wine, so well, it's almost finished. So that's going to be my afternoon. I also want to make some popcorn, add some hummus and carrots sticks for lunch with a couple of like cheese and crackers, because I wasn't like massively hungry, but I do know that I need to fuel myself, and especially because I'm so tired. But I think next, I know I said I was going to read this last, but I definitely think that I'm ready to dive into this now. So we're going to read Legendary next. It's so like fast-paced paced and light-hearted, and not too much thinking needs to be done. It's also not that long. Oh, it's 400 pages, but the font is pretty massive. So I actually think I'm going to do this next, and then we'll end off with Zodiac Academy, because with the way things are going now, I don't think I'll be able to complete that book. But yeah, I think this one will definitely be able to finish in like maybe 6 hours as well, and then we'll have 4 hours left. But yeah, I'm gonna go make myself some popcorn and I'll start this. If you don't know, this is the sequel to the Caraval series. I know you're supposed to read Caraval series first, but I read Once Upon a Broken Heart first because I wasn't like really into like the book community and stuff when I first started reading it, so I didn't know. So I read Once Upon a Broken Heart back in like when I just first started my channel. I think that was 2023, and I hadn't read Caraval, and a lot of people did say to read this first, and I definitely should have, because I think I would have enjoyed it more, because I feel like Once Upon a Broken Heart was definitely written better than Caraval. It just feels really juvenile, but anyway, it's still a fun, easy read. So I think this is the next one we're gonna do. So that's all I have to say for now. So I will see you guys. My hair is a kink in from my earphones. They actually died, so I'm having to use my earbuds now, but that's okay. My ears are actually getting sore, like the over the ear ones, it pushes down on like this cartilage here and it starts to hurt. But I am gonna go. I'm rambling. I'm so tired. Sorry if the angle is slightly tilted. I just can't be bothered to go get my other tripod. So I'm balancing you on the edge of the couch. Yeah, it's risky. It's very risky. But we are now at this time point. So we have 8 hours and 15 minutes left. I just reached chapter 15, page 139. This book's so fast. And I'm not gonna lie, I may or may not have dozed off for like 10 minutes. But I still got the gist of the story. When I woke up, I was still listening to it in my ear, and the book was obviously face down. But I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Okay, so in the first book, Caraval, we followed Scarlett on her little journey to save her sister, and in this book we are now following Donatella, who is Scarlett's sister. And Jax has just been, I don't know if that's a spoiler, but Jax has just been introduced. I always knew that he was in the series first. That's why we were supposed to read it before, the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So Jax has just made an appearance. He's so much more callous and ruthless in this book than he was in Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I know that Donatella and Scarlett made a slight appearance in Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I don't remember in what context. So he's just done what he does. He's connived and manipulated someone into doing something that he wants her to do. So yeah, it's interesting, but also again, it's so much more YA than Once Upon a Broken Heart was. Like, it feels so juvenile. So I'm not having the best time reading it, but I'm also not having the worst time. And I'm glad I read this now, because my concentration is basically non-existent. So this is going really, really easy. I'm not halfway through yet, but I think we'll get there soon. So I think the rest of the book might take like 3 to 4 hours, fingers crossed. But I need to go cook dinner now. I don't even know if what I said made sense. Like, honestly, I just blanked out. I don't even remember what I did. Why are these so difficult, and why do I keep doing this to myself? Because these videos do so well on my channel, but look at me. I look like The Walking Dead right now. It honestly helps me read so many books. Like, I've actually only read, like, including this one, probably 6 physical books this month. We are still in June. Like I said in previous videos, I am doing a lot of pre-filming, but we're still in June, and this video will only go up in July. But so far I've read like 14 books, and only 6 of them have been physical. Physical. 6 of them have been physical. The rest are all on my Kindle or audiobook. So this is a fun little challenge just to get me more books read. I am listening to the book at 2 speed right now. A lot of the books I have, but I think I can increase the speed while I'm cooking, because the narrator speaks really, really slow. And I've not been diagnosed, but I've said this before, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, and anybody who speaks really slow, which I actually sometimes do too, but if I speak slow, I lose my trail of thought, firstly, and if other people speak really slow, my mind just wanders. So I need to listen to it at a good speed where I have to actually concentrate to catch the words. So I'm going to increase my speed probably to like 2.45, around there. That's normally what I can still comprehend. And then, yeah, we'll see. Maybe this will go faster. I just finished Legendary. I know I said I would check in at like 6 hours, but I thought I would just finish this because I had probably 100 pages left. I think 100 pages? Yeah, around 100 pages left. And I was like, I might as well just finish this instead of checking in twice within the hour. So, well, between 2 hours. I think I'm going to give this a 3.5 star. I did prefer Caraval, but honestly, the series just feels so juvenile, and I feel like it could have been more. Like, I don't know. It just left a little bit more to be desired. I think I gave Caraval 3.75 and this one a 3.5. It's not a bad series. I would recommend it. I definitely would, but definitely as a palate cleanser or like just an easy read, because it doesn't have that much depth. It's kind of just very surface level and very like, yeah, you can tell it was written for a teenager. I just realized at the end of the book in the epilogue that she's only 17 years old, so that makes sense. But at the same time, everybody tried to convince us that Once Upon a Broken Heart was the lesser series, but I do think this one, you can tell that it was like her first out of the two series. Like Once Upon a Broken Heart was way more whimsical and had more of a plot, where this, I felt like, even though they're going through Caraval and they're going through all these games and stuff, it just felt very, I feel like I had something in my teeth. But yeah, it just felt very, very meh. And yeah, I'm still glad I read this though. It was a bit of a palate cleanser. I think I'm losing my voice. Oh my gosh, these readathons, they really get to me. But yeah, 3.5 stars. I'm so tired. So I thought, instead of reading the Zodiac Academy, which is going to require a little bit more brain power, I thought we'd go for another thriller. So I think instead of Zodiac Academy, we're going to read The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I don't know if we'll be able to finish this in the allotted time, because we do have just under 5 hours left, so 4 hours and 48 minutes. I don't think we'll be able to finish it, but I'm going to try and get as far as possible. Depending on how much time we have left, we'll just finish this tomorrow morning. But I'm in the mood for another thriller. I was just speaking to my brother about like these dark figures I have in the corner of my eyes, or my peripheral vision, and he was like, you're crazy. I was like, oh, but I swear it happens. And he was like, definitely our dog would pick up on it if there was a spirit in the midst of things. But I told him how I felt last night, and he came home really late. I thought I was going to spend the night alone, but he came home, so I didn't feel as alone, and I slept a little bit easier knowing that. But I always see these dark things in my peripheral vision. So yeah, it's quite late right now. It's not that late, it's 8:30 right now, so I think it's the perfect time to start another thriller. I don't know what this is about, but on the back it says: the lonely wife, the party animal, the curtain twitcher, the secret lover, the watchful caretaker, and the unwanted guest. There was a murder here last night. Who holds the key to the mystery of apartment 3? I'm looking forward to that. I don't think it's a full-on thriller. I think it's more like a mystery, but I still think it will be way easier to read than Zodiac Academy, because in Zodiac Academy I feel, again, there's a lot of unnecessary like conversations and scenery that we don't really need to know. So I wasn't sure if I was up to that. But yeah, these videos are always like this at the end, because I'm literally just so tired. I'm actually delusional. So yeah, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Okay guys, so I just did like an entire 8-minute check-in and I hadn't pushed record on my mic. Let's try this again. Firstly, I'm really sorry about the lighting. Like, I just came to my room to do this little check-in because I just needed a little change of scenery. I've been sitting in the lounge all day. I'm really tired and really discombobulated, so please forgive me. Firstly, I can't believe I did that. I just looked up and the light wasn't on my mic and I was like, are you joking? 8.5 minutes I spoke for. I'm tired. I'm so sorry. Okay, so let's try this again. This book. We have 2 hours and 8 minutes left. I did pause the timer before I came in here. So we're reading The Paris Apartment. So what I can surmise that it's about is we have our main female character, or the main character. Her name is Jess, and she's come to Paris because things are not going great in her life right now. She's had a run-in with her boss at work and things just aren't great. So she's texted her brother telling him that she was coming to visit visit. She's gone on the Eurostar like to meet him. He texted her back, told her which apartment, which street, whatever, gave her address. And then when she gets there, she is trying to get into the building, but unfortunately he just hasn't responded, and we find out that he's now gone missing. She finds her way into the apartment. She gets into his actual apartment and things are just not right. The rest of the time we're just trying to figure out what is going on. The whole building is kind of weird, and there's something amiss. There's definitely something amiss, and the tenants of this apartment building seem to all be from the same family. We don't know this for sure, but we've kind of surmised that. Like it says on the back, in a beautiful old apartment block in the back streets of Paris, secrets are stirring behind every resident's door. Every resident is part of the same family. She's kind of trying to investigate what happened to her brother. There's like obviously telltale signs and red flags because his keys are there for his little Vespa, his wallet's there, but then all his other stuff are gone, like all his notebooks, his computer, and all of his phone obviously is missing. So she's obviously suspecting something's going on here. Then she meets someone who actually went to college with him, or university, and this person got him into the apartment building, and his name is Nick. And there's something funny going on there. We know this, and she knows this, and he's given her a fake name or fake surname, so she can't find him anywhere. Altogether, like everything is just weird in this apartment building. There's a girl who's like, she's quite young. I think she's like 19, and we can tell clearly that she has an obsession with Nick. So with Ben, who is her brother. But Ben was working on a case, or he's a journalist. He went to Cambridge. We know he was working on a story that no one knows exactly what it is, but he's approached other outlets to like sell this story to him. So yeah, it's all very, very confusing, and we're as confused as the main female character is. I'm on page 221. I stopped in the middle of the chapter because I saw the timer just running down, and I was like, I need to check in now, because after the next 2 hours I probably won't check in until tomorrow morning, but I definitely think that we can finish this in the next 2 hours. But like I said, I'm tired. My brain is, I can't even speak, like my brain is just not working right now. So yeah, I've been reading since 10 a.m. this morning, and it is now 11:53, so I still have 2 hours left. It was going to take us to 1 a.m. but now obviously it's taken us to like 2 a.m. so I'm going to try and stay up and keep reading. Hi everyone, so I'm wearing a coat or a jacket because I am actually heading out the house in a few minutes. I think it's half an hour, but I had 24 hours to sit on this because I was so tired yesterday. When I finished the book, I was so tired, guys. When I finished the book, I had 10 minutes left and I just shut everything down and went straight to sleep. So it was a successful 24-hour readathon, probably my most successful I've had yet. Did the immersive reading make a difference? Absolutely. I didn't find my eyes being so tired. My brain was still a bit scrambled because it's a lot of information coming in in a short space of time. Apparently I still can't think, but it's a lot of information coming in in a small space of time. But it did help, like getting up and doing stuff, still having the book going on in my head. I think I did read slightly faster. For this time around, we read 1,709 pages, which is about 500 pages more than I would usually read, which is an additional book. So I'm very proud of what I did. I'm really happy I did this. I don't want to do the way I did it again. I definitely will prefer to do it like 12 hours. I think I said that before. I had a good time. Let me know if you want to see another one. Since I haven't spoken about the last book we read, this is The Paris Apartment by Lucy Foley. I think I did I say her name correctly? I did. I did tell you what the book is about. I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't any type of like thriller or anything. It was basically a murder mystery, and we're trying to figure out where this missing person is. His sister is very resilient. She makes silly mistakes along the way, but I did like her thinking process because I probably would have done the same in her situation. It was very fun. I thought it was a fun book. I gave this a 4-star. Yeah, so closing up this video, we did read 4 books. The first one was Our Violent Ends, which was a big mistake. Firstly, it's a chunky book. It's very boring. I do not recommend this book series. There's another one that she wrote. The lady something Lady Fowl. I heard terrible things about that series as well. So I think for me, Chloe Gong is not an author I would ever purchase from again or try and read, because her writing's just not for me. She's got a lot of info dumping, a lot of unnecessary like bits in it that doesn't actually bring anything to the story. Like when I think about the ending of this book and all the conversations had in it had absolutely nothing to do with the end, and it was pretty much predictable. So I didn't even like the characters. Both of them, Juliet and Roma, are very unlikable. We didn't get a lot of them like on page together having conversations or anything like that. I just felt like the characters were so far removed. But yeah, 2-star. Then we read How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix, and I'm not gonna lie, this story has stuck with me. I think about it quite often. My husband called me yesterday and I was telling him about this book, and we were both laughing and giggling because it's so unhinged, but I thought it was fun. It was creepy, the right amount of creepy, not too much in the sense that it wasn't like super paranormal, if that makes sense, but at the same time it was like inanimate objects coming to life and possessing people, which I guess is paranormal, but I don't know, it towed the line perfectly. I'm not sure if I saw anybody who liked this book as much as I did, but I loved it. I thought it was a fun time. It did get creepy at that stage of the night because I think I went to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that is a tricky time. So I was feeling a little bit creeped out and I put it down, but I had so much fun reading this. It was a quick read. It was simple. It wasn't too embellished. It had the right amount of like creepiness and thrillerness. So yeah, I had a fun time. So 4 stars for this. Then we read Legendary by Stephanie Garber. I spoke about this in depth and I didn't love it as much as I thought I would. I definitely would recommend the Once Upon a Broken Heart series above this. This is just too juvenile and too silly. And again, like the imagery is fun, but the actual plot line, it gets lost. Like I feel like we're not staying on a stable path and we keep veering off for absolutely no reason that doesn't actually add any value to the story. Yeah, I didn't love it. I gave it a 3.5 star. It's not bad, but I just think I'm not the audience for it. Once Upon a Broken Heart was a lot better in my opinion. And then obviously we read The Paris Apartment, which I'm giving a 4 star, which I liked it. I really did like it. It was very immersive. In saying that is the end of this video. Only took me 3 days to film, even though it was a 24-hour reader. I just dropped all the books. Like I was saying, even though it was a 24-hour readathon, it took me a while to film, obviously. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you can suggest any other way to film this, or you have other ways to make it a little bit more challenging or whatever. Let me know what you want to see in the future, and I'll definitely sort something out. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye, guys.